one of the positions where there are question marks at present is the goalkeeping spot, which you filled for 125 times. Man at the moment is David James. Do you think he's the man to take England forward?
They do say as goalkeepers get older, they do mature, and I'm hoping David's settled down a bit now, not going to do too many sort of rushes of the blood, so to speak. And I think, all goalkeepers make mistakes, and David's going to make mistakes, but we don't want to see the ones he made that cost him his England place. But having said that, when you look at the other goalkeepers, Paul Robinson his record's not too bad for England. In fact, he had a terrific spell, but he lost his confidence at Spurs, and that cost him his England place because he made 2 or 3 errors one after another. But he's still very much in the frame, I think. But we've got a lot more other goalkeepers around than we did, say, 2 years ago. There's a bigger selection, but there's not one, Robert Green, for example, Chris Kirtland, you name it, Ben Foster, Scott Carson, they're all coming, Young Hart, they're all coming through a little bit better now, but, they've all got a lot to prove, and there's not one you would say, yes, I think that he's probably going to be the one that may come through. But, there's big talk about Ben Foster, and I was very impressed with him. But how is he going to get over his injury? Is he going to take up the thread again, etc.? So is he going to be playing regularly in the Premier League? There's a lot of questions to be answered. But I think on the manager's position, I think he would probably stick with David James as long as he starts the season well.
And do you feel the likes of maybe Paul Robinson and Scott Carson, their careers have maybe gone slightly backwards in recent times? Both played for England, made blunders, been dropped, and now their club form is up in the air as well.
Well, I think the big thing is when you're an England goalkeeper, you're just on mistakes, and you can't afford to make too many mistakes. I played 20 years for England, and I think maybe people bring up 2 or 3 games. A couple of them I don't think were mistakes, but just things that happened, like the hand of God, things like that. But you can't afford to make too many mistakes, and I think that maybe it is with the lighter balls these days. It's a little bit more difficult, but I do feel that some of the mistakes that have been made are mistakes that really are elementary and shouldn't have been made. And I think that's what you want, more consistency. But certainly, once you get that position where the pressure is on, and you do make a couple of errors back to back, for example, like Paul Robinson, suddenly the pressure's on even more, and it's very difficult. And I think he did tell on him, and that's cost him his place.
There's been a lot of debate about who Capello's captain's going to be. He's given it to a number of players. Who would you pick?
John Terry. I would pick John Terry, definitely. I just like John Terry as a leader. He's wears his heart on his sleeve. If you ever need someone to clear the ball off the line or go up and try and head a goal in when you need it, he's the man. And I just think he's a natural leader. He's. There's a lot of other aspects to being England captain, in terms of what you do off the pitch and the way, etc. But if you're asking me for somebody that's going to really be the person on the pitch, he would be my choice, definitely.